Confessions of a Living Dead Man. Part 2. The Spiral. It started slow, I guess. These things always do. A seed of doubt here, a misplaced comment there, and before I knew it, I was second-guessing everything. Every word I said, every choice I made, every step I took, none of it felt like it belonged to me. My self-worth became a currency I handed over to others, hoping for scraps of validation that never came. I don't even know when I started down this path, but once the spiral began, it was fast. Too fast. It didn't take long before I just stopped caring. About anything. About everything. The things that used to bring me joy, or at least a sense of purpose, turned hollow. Music, books, even the small pleasures like sitting in the park or watching the sunrise, all of it felt like a cruel joke played on a version of me that didn't exist anymore. There was no moment of clarity, no dramatic breaking point. Just a slow erosion of whatever it was that made me, me. Working has become especially difficult. Every day feels like a Herculean task, trying to force myself to care about getting my job done. It's not that I hate what I do. It's hard to hate something when you feel nothing at all. My job is the kind of work that doesn't ask for much. Show up, get the daily goal, clock out. But even that feels insurmountable most days. I spend more time staring at the clipboard in front of me than actually doing anything productive. The tasks pile up, and with them, the guilt. But the guilt doesn't motivate me. It just drags me down further. My co-workers must notice, though none of them say anything. I catch their glances sometimes, quick and furtive, as if they're afraid that looking too long might drag them into my pit of apathy. Meetings are the worst. Sitting in a room full of people who actually seem to care about goals and deadlines feels like being an imposter at someone else's funeral. They talk about numbers and performance metrics, their voices rising and falling with passion I can't begin to understand. I nod along, pretending to listen, pretending to care. My head bobs like one of those dashboard figurines, and I wonder if they see through me. So I just stopped showing up for meetings. Once, I tried to explain it to a coworker, someone I thought might understand, someone I thought was my only friend. "I feel like I'm sinking," I said. She looked at me like I'd spoken a foreign language. "Everyone feels that way sometimes," she replied with a dismissive smile, as if that was supposed to help. It didn't. I can't remember the last time I finished something and felt proud of it. Even when I do manage to get things done, there's no sense of accomplishment, no fleeting moment of satisfaction. It's just another box checked, another meaningless task completed in a life full of meaningless tasks. And the worst part, I know this isn't sustainable. I know the cracks are showing. My manager has started hinting at performance reviews, his tone heavy with unspoken concern. But I can't bring myself to care, even though I know the consequences. Losing my job would be catastrophic, but the thought barely stirs anything in me. What does it matter if I'm failing here or somewhere else? It's all the same. Sometimes I wonder if I'm addicted to this feeling, or maybe resigned to it. The numbness has become a shield, protecting me from the sharp edges of the world. But it's a double-edged sword, cutting me off from everything, even the things that used to make life bearable. I've heard people talk about rock bottom as if it's a single moment of reckoning. But for me, it feels more like a plateau, a flat, gray expanse where nothing grows and nothing changes. Every step feels the same as the last, and I'm starting to wonder if there's any way off this barren plain. I used to believe in resilience, in the idea that people could pull themselves out of anything if they just tried hard enough. Now I'm not so sure. I've tried. I've forced smiles, gone through the motions, faked enthusiasm until my face ached. But none of it sticks. None of it feels real. I don't know how much longer I can keep pretending. I don't know if I even want to. But for now, I'll keep showing up. Not because I believe it will get better, but because it's easier than trying to explain why I didn't.